Another question we have at Premier Tech is, what exactly are the technicians doing during the annual maintenance? What are their steps? And basically, if we start from the beginning, the first thing they're going to do is inspect the cover. We need to make sure that there's no infiltration getting in, whether it's water or sand or any type of small insects getting into the Ecoflo. We also want to make sure that all the nuts and bolts are secure and working well. Once we've done that, we're going to remove the lid or the cover, and we're also going to remove the insulation panel. We'll inspect both again just to make sure that there's no cracks or breaks and make sure that everything's working well. From there, the technician has access to the internal components. Now, these are your tipping bucket and your distribution plates. Now, before removing them, he will inspect them, or she will inspect them, to make sure that they're working properly and that there are no breaks or any reparations that need to be done. Now, of course, if they do see that any reparations or replacements need to be done and the Ecoflo biofilter is still within the warranty period, we will go ahead and do that for you. So once we remove the internal components, it's time to inspect the inside of the Ecoflo biofilter. So this means looking for any cracks, any breaks, maybe even any bubbling of the shell, just to make sure that everything's working well. And in most cases, everything is working well. Now, if ever we do find a crack, a break, or anything that we deem needs to be repaired, we're going to go ahead and contact the client right away to make sure that they have a personalized follow-up and make sure that we can help them with their specific situation. So once the inspections are done, both visually and of the internal components, now it's time to move on to raking the filtering medium. Now, of course, we're going to get as deep as we can, usually to about 8 inches of depth. And we want to do this for two main reasons. The first one, giving oxygen to the filtering medium. It's very important that the Ecoflo biofilter has access to oxygen and that oxygen is moving throughout the filtering medium. And the second reason, of course, is to break down what we call the preferential pathways of water. So this is when water falls in the same spot, continues building a path, and then water continuously runs down the same path. We're going to break that up. We're going to make the water work a little bit harder to get through the filtering medium, making sure that your wastewater is treated properly. So once the raking has been completed, this is when our technician will take a photo of the filtering medium. Now, this is done for two main reasons. First of all, to make sure that we have a record of the filtering medium over the years. And secondly, to show our analysts here at Premier Tech the situation that your Ecoflo biofilter is in, meaning what is the level of compaction, what is the level of degradation, and at what point should we renew the filter medium. Now, of course, the photos are not just the only thing that we use. We also use a script, meaning that the technician must respond to a series of questions, which again will help our analysts decide when is the best moment to renew the filter medium inside your Ecoflo biofilter. So once the raking is completed, we've taken the photos, now it's time to close up the Ecoflo and move on. So the first thing to do is to put the internal components back into place and quickly make sure that they are working properly and that everything is sitting properly and is adjusted well. From there, we take the insulation panel, put it back on top to make sure that everything is insulated properly, and then we take the cover, replace it on top of the shell, close it up with the 4 bolts, and at that moment, the technician will leave the site knowing that the maintenance has been completed. So once the physical maintenance is done on site, the report is then sent back to Premier Tech. Now, this report is available to you at your request by contacting Premier Tech and making sure that we set up your account to send you those automatically. And in the report, it gives you a lot of information about how your system is doing overall. Now, the side that's very important for Premier Tech is to make sure that any small problems or any big problems are immediately reported back to the client so that we can find a personalized solution for your situation. Now, of course, in the opposite situation, which is more so the case, you're going to receive a report indicating exactly the state of your Ecoflo biofilter and if any actions need to be taken. And if not, then you can continue with next year's annual maintenance.